It should be. I'm going to check my phone here. Hello, everybody. Steve, Slightly Slanted Sleuth for the Truth, coming to you from sunny Oakdale, and we've got Jack on the line. What's up, Jackie boy? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, man. Just enjoying my Sunday evening. I've got work in the morning, so yeah. Sun's just setting here now. It looks dark, but it's just going down now. So yeah.
Yeah, it's 2:23 in the afternoon here.
Nice.
Did you see the thumbnail I put on this video? It's a version of the seven houses of the Lord, or the chakras, and how they interrelate with the seven hermetic principles.
Mm-hmm.
One of Phil's graphics. Delaney Pearl Jones is in the house. What's up, Delaney? We got a couple people here so far. Start this out on the fly as usual. The last 15 minutes I had it set up, so I apologize for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So what did you want to talk about today? Anything new happen?
Well, yeah, I met Phil on Friday night for the first time.
Very nice.
And I met him because he doesn't drive, so I went up like his way. I got there pretty quick. There wasn't any traffic, and it was really good to meet him. I mean, yeah, I bought him dinner as well. He wanted to split the bill, but I insisted on buying dinner. So we got into a really deep conversation in the end. We were talking about all sorts of things, and it was good to finally meet Phil. I've known him for over 5 years probably now. So yeah, to finally get a chance to meet in person. Although one thing I will say, they say like the eyes are the window to the soul. I noticed his Phil's eyes were very bright. There's like a great glare coming from his eyes. It's like he had diamonds in his pupils or something. So
nice.
Yeah. So no, it was really cool. I did a really quick live stream, but it was only like really quick, just to say hello.
Right.
He gave me a copy of his book. And I hadn't got round to buying it yet, so that was cool. And we just had a couple of beers.
What's the book called?
His Revelations Decoded book.
The newest one, then.
Yeah, his latest book. Yeah.
He's writing another one too, I guess.
Yeah, so he should.
Right.
But
yeah. I'd try to sit down and write a book, but I don't know if I could get past 3 pages without losing track of what I was doing.
Yeah. No, it was really good. I'm really glad. I'm really glad it finally happened, and we said we'd do it again sometime. So yeah, He's
okay. So we all know that he's enlightened or he's ascended, and what do you think of him as a type of person? Is he a normal guy? Is he is he just an average blow?
Yeah, initially I was a bit like taken aback and disappointed because he was just some regular dude. But when we started talking later and got into some real deep conversations, it was really great. He really came to the fore. It was great fun. Like I said, it was great fun. I'm really glad that I finally got to meet him. And at the end of the day, he's just a dude like any of us. But he's a very deep thinker, Phil.
Hey, hold up a second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep talking, buddy. My dogs are barking. Somebody's at the door.
All right, you take care of that. Where did he? All right. This is just me on a yeah, so I imagine if Steve's not here, no, I got to meet Phil, and yeah, I'll have to go and see him again sometime in the not too distant future, because an interesting thing he said about because I was asking him about, you know, the ins and outs of the initiation of the tribulation, and he said something. He said basically the analogy he used was
Weird, dude. Reality's a freaking crazy, crazy, crazy show. Well, guess who that was?
who?
Amazon delivering me my book from Yvonne Gordon.
Oh wow,
The Revelation
that's cool.
of Jesus Christ, Our Inner Journey Home. That's
I
her
was just-
newest
I was just
book.
talking. I was just talking about this while you were gone. I might as well finish what I was saying. So I was asking Phil about the actual initiation, the actual, you know, the final moments of, and like the ascension moment. And he said basically, this is the analogy he used. If you're ever with a group of friends and they're talking about a movie and you haven't seen that film, you have no idea what they're going on about. However, if you've seen the movie and they're talking about it, you can join in the conversation because you've got a point of reference, i.e. you've seen the film. So yeah, no, it was just really great to see him, Steve. It really
That was
was.
a really
Well,
great analogy, though, because I talked to you guys when you were on there, and we got into talking about that, and I tried explaining to him how do you explain your inner experience and give it the levity to somebody else, you know, and that's the eye of the needle aspect of our personal journeys to God or with ourselves. And it's amazing
sure.
how you called me back and you said that you guys had that talk, and that's how he announced or analyzed it and explained it to you. So it was pretty cool.
Well, I mentioned that. Yeah, we did a video chat with Steve in my car. It was really weird video chatting you having Phil sit next to me in the car, but it was cool, dude. It was really cool. Really, really cool. I'm really glad the whole thing happened, man. I really am. But I mean, yeah, I was kind of like telling him all about like Lizzie and stuff, like at first, you know, and just Charles.
Did he have any advice for you on a personal level, as if you want to share it or not?
No, not really. Although I did say to him that I was convinced that like a legion of demons are attacking Earth at this current time in this zeitgeist, and he said like there's always legions of demons attacking Earth. He goes, that basically is what the zeitgeist is. The spirit of the time is always a demonic invasion that unfortunately many humans they fall victim to. But you know, I still did conclude like someone in a state of psychosis and someone in a state of like spiritual possession. It's really one and the same thing. There's a bit of both. There's a bit of psychiatry and a bit of bad juju going on at the same time. But yeah, no, I spoke to him about that. But you know, after dinner, we really got. He said to me as well when I was leaving, he was like, "Oh, you're a really deep thinker, Jack." I was like, "Well, I guess that's why I'm here talking to you, bro." You know, so.
Okay, in correlation, Tim just brought up Tim Cameron 619 said, adapting to the times has been a real bitch for me. My country boy lifestyle is getting devoured by urban sprawl. My recent vision quest has revealed a lot. And he says, I don't know why I shared that here. Well, that feeds into every aspect of what we're doing, right? I mean, every one of us has a personal thing or things or experiences. And I think that's the purpose of life, right? So it kind of feeds into what you were just talking about. What you think?
I mean, yes. You know, I mean, you can have good times in life, but what I guess I learned, and I guess this is really the whole world's been subjected to this through the whole pandemic thing, is that you never know what's around the corner in your temporal life. You never know what might hit you, but there are other things that are fixed, Yeah, I can't believe that as well. When we were talking a lot about correspondences and the hermetic law of correspondence, and we kind of came to the agreement it's the least understood hermetic law, the law of correspondence, that as above so below one. It's quite deep, and but yeah, no.
The ultimate of that as above, if I may interject, the ultimate of the as above so below to me is the heart and the mind. You're right. Till your heart rises above your mind, and you live life in the purest form in the now, then you're going to be stuck or shattered like we are in our our dominal state at the time. Because we tend to think we're all separate, yet we're just separate through different eyes, and the only thing that's different through us is our perspectives, because we're all receiving the same energy, that we are the same thing. Consciousness is one thing, and the only thing that makes it separate is our ID, our fake self, or our ego. So
yeah, I no, because we were when we were chilling in the car, I was playing him like some really amazing jazz piano. I was playing him some Bill Evans, because I had a CD on there, and he was like, "Well, this dude can really swing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course. You've got the 7 notes of the scale, and then the 12 notes of all the chromatic tones in any octave." I was like, "Wow, that is even the 7 planets, or the 7
colors of the rainbow, 7 hues, 7." Yeah.
And then the 12 of the zodiac. I was like, damn, I didn't even realize that. And it's just amazing how with those, and he was saying it's almost like, how it's like internally hardwired into our brain as well. It's really, we had a lot.
Yeah, because of the 12 paired cranial nerves and all that, right? I mean, it's all interrelated.
So well, this is the microcosm of the macrocosm thing, which is very misconstrued, particularly within New Age circles. But we had a good chat about the number 7. That kind of dominated for a while, and all sorts of things. But it was a pretty deep conversation, though. I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty deep conversation. But yeah,
I've noticed in my recent talks with him or emails, he's always showing me or telling me about how layouts around our planet, and like the Washington D.C. layout, the what's that place where he met you, is laid out in a certain way.
Yeah, there's
architecture, the landscape.
Yeah, it's called the. I'll find it on the internet and the screen share. It's called the Kingston Zodiac.
Yeah.
Where basically all the streets are built in half of the Zodiac.
Yep.
Because I was driving around the roads, and I was like, I swear these roads are all over the place and winding, but right. And this is, so I didn't know about this, and this, right. So can I screen share quickly?
You got to hit screen share. Maybe it's asking me if I have to let you or not.
You see that? It says I'm sharing.
Yep, I do.
Yeah. So there's all the streets make up a zodiac. There's like the dog, which is Sirius. You can see the lion. You can see Cancer, the crab, the Virgin girl there, the bull, the ram. Yeah, I like this isn't like public knowledge. When really this, look, you see there's like the 2 dudes, Gemini, the twins. It's the first half of the zodiac and the dog star. And I couldn't believe this because I said to Phil, who built this? Like, how long's this been here? And so he was like, no one knows. Like, quite literally, no one knows. People my age from Britain, there used to be a show called Art Attack, where this dude called Neil Buchanan would make these huge pieces of art. It was a kids' show. And once you had a bird's eye view of it, you'd see like what the art was. In fact, he actually got commissioned by the city of New York one Christmas to actually turn all the lights on and off in all the buildings in the New York skylines, and did a Santa on a sleigh with a reindeer. Brilliant, like macro artist. And, like, no one knows about this. If I said to like some kind of like trivia academic who knows fucking everything, oh, do you know what the Kingston Zodiac is? They'll be like, what? This is hidden. It's hidden. It's most I'd never heard of it, and I was like, there, right in it, you know.
Well, it's like everything.
really,
It's not really hidden. It's there just for us with eyes to see and ears to hear, and it's the veil that we create by unbelief or not having faith, or I see this stuff like it's
this
how
like,
if everything is one thing, then it's going to manifest itself everywhere.
but this is like the Nazca Plains or something.
Yeah.
This is like this is like the eighth wonder of the world or something. It's completely hidden from the public in this country.
Well, it's not hidden though.
No, but it's
You
not.
found the information.
Yeah, but only because Phil showed me. He was
Well,
like,
right, but it's not hidden. It's been there all along.
I know, but my point is, it's not. You know, it's not celebrated. It's not.
Well, no, because
it's firmly in the realm of the occult. Firmly, it's not. You know, every person in England knows what Big Ben is. They know what the Tower of London is. We know what Hadrian's Wall is that the Romans built.
Right.
Like Edinburgh Castle. We know all these things. This no one knows about it. That's my point. It's totally hidden. And like I said, Phil was like, we have no idea how long it's been there, or who built it, or why it's there. It could be as old as the city of London itself, but it's very Masonic, that's for sure. So yeah, that's the Kingston Zodiac, and it's massive. So it spans about, oh man, it spans like probably, it's pretty much like half of the whole of southwest London, man. Very strange, very strange.
Well, what was the pub you guys were at? And just
what was it called?
He explained something else about that area. I can't remember what it was, but
it was it was called the Flower Pot.
Oh, you guys meet somewhere else?
No, that was the name of the pub where we went to. It's called the Flower
That was the
Pot.
original place you're going to meet, though.
Well, because Phil was like, oh, I've got a ride wherever we meet on my push bike. So I was like, look, dude, like, I don't want you to have to ride 20 miles to meet me. Like, so we were like a couple of miles from his place. He's in that area, Sunbury. So
nice.
Yeah, no,
well, I'm glad you finally got to meet him, man. That's awesome.
We were talking, and I really missed. He said that he like wanted to like destroy Freemasonry, but he didn't explain the context. And I was like, what, do we need another revolution where every lodge gets burnt down and something? And later I asked him to qualify that. He was like, no, you destroy it by just exposing the knowledge that they're hiding. That's what would bring down their kind of hidden influence. I was like, oh, right.
Unveiling the veil, yes.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Jews at one point, and I wanted to like bring up the Holocaust. And I was like, oh, dude, what was that thing with all the Jews and Hitler? And what was it called? Because I was looking for the word. And he didn't know what I was talking about. It was like, I don't know. He was like, the final solution. I was like, no, not the final solution, the fucking Holocaust. He was like, oh yeah, the Holocaust. Yeah, that's what.
Well, that was the or the Reich's final solution.
Right. Yeah, for the
That's
third
what they
Reich.
called it.
Yeah.
So
God,
marker 113 came in 8:30. It said something earlier about material world, spiritual world, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah, it's like you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, and you shake
do
it
the
all.
okey cokey and you turn around.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington is set up similarly. I've seen. Yes, that's what Need to Know says. But there is a reason they hide it. Piccolo's son says that.
Well, so be it. It's not hidden from me anymore. I'm going to tell loads of people. I'm going to tell everyone I know about it. Show them the picture. Be like, hey,
Right.
look, check this out, dude. But yeah, another interesting thing Phil told me. So he doesn't dream anymore, and because it talks about in the Upanishads how like when you have sleep without dreaming, it's called they call it divine rest in that book, which is very interesting. Yeah, and he was like basically he's processed his unconscious content or something like that, so he doesn't need to dream anymore.
Yeah, that's what dreams are. They say that everybody in your dream is an aspect of what you're going through, or it's like the names of the Bible.
Well, interestingly, I had a dream. I told Phil about this. I think it was last Tuesday, and it was such a vivid dream. But I was like standing at the gates of like the underworld. There's these two huge like Greek pillars with an arched doorway, a bit like the doorway in the Fellowship of the Ring, where Gandalf can't remember the passcode to get in, and they're there for ages trying to open the door. It was a doorway like that. Yeah. But there was an Anubis type character there who was guarding the gates, and it was Tony Blair, the former British Prime Minister. And like really, everything bad and evil about the world is summed up by Tony Blair, basically.
Luna, knock it off.
So, yeah, I was telling him about that, but
Need to Know says his dad was a 33rd guy's 33rd degree, I think he's saying. Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with Freemasonry. It's just when information is withheld from the general public for personal gain, it only is a detriment to the person withholding the information. It's like having a beef with somebody or having a judgment about somebody, and you're pissed off at somebody and that person doesn't even care. It's like, who is that really hurting when you're mad at somebody? It's not hurting anybody but yourself. So that's what I think it is. Anyway, that's the correlation macro for me anyway.
Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, no, because I keep having dreams about Elizabeth. I still keep having dreams about her, and I there's no closure from the situation, so I'd expect that, it's really the only way I can process it is really through dreams, and it's totally nothing I'm like in control of. I was reading there's a really good interview on YouTube. It's an interview with Nikola Tesla on the nature of light, and I was watching it, and he was explaining, Nikola Tesla, how he'd managed to train himself to be able to like do work in his dreams.
Yes, he'd go to sleep with a question or a problem, and he'd wake up with the answer, he'd say.
Yeah, and he'd even like go to work in his dreams. So he'd like build machines in his dreams. So when
do the thought process of it, yes.
Yeah, someone said to me the other day that according to modern physics, electricity shouldn't exist. And I was like, well, obviously that's completely wrong because it does exist.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's quite, it's the right-hand rule, right? What's that?
Right, yeah, that's it. Faraday's right-hand rule.
Yeah, what is that?
The right-hand rule. So the direction of the dielectric is 90 degrees from the direct direction of the current flow. And then that bit is the direction of the magnetic field, which would be like round the wire. So if you think of like the astrological symbol for the sun, the circle with the dot in the middle, that's like a cross-sectional view of like the wire and then the magnetic field. Although according to Ken Wheeler, no one knows what magnetism or electricity is.
Right. You know, I owe that man a lot, though, as far as the base understanding of magnetism and what it is in art. Because growing up, if I would have known a fridge magnet was the answer to all of the universe, then it would have sure helped me a lot when I was younger.
Well, yeah, the problem, I asked Phil about this. I was like, you borrow heavily from Einstein's work, particularly on relativity in his own body of work. And I was like, and Ken Wheeler mouths off about Einstein. And I was like, what's up with that? Like, where's the reconciliation? And he was saying that Ken Wheeler's not a mathematician, and he is. So because he doesn't do maths, he doesn't get that understanding that doing mathematics can give you. And
well, mathematics is just a way to describe the universe, or to define the universe, just like we are a means for spiritual matters or spirituality or God to manifest through us. It's the same way. We are to define what it is, right? Do you understand what I mean by that? Or did I confuse you?
No, you're gonna have to explain that again.
It's like squaring the circle, how the square or the finite is the means for the infinite to be defined. It's like without hot, cold wouldn't exist because there'd be nothing to compare it to, or in that aspect. But it's more than that. It's I don't know how to even articulate what I'm trying to get at here. It's like time is a means to define timelessness. That's simplistic, but it's pretty deep.
Yeah, Phil was explaining this to me, how like time is I can't remember how he explained it, but he was talking about how time is like a compression or dilation of light, which allows us to experience a linear lifetime, basically. So we're not experiencing absolutely everything at once. So there's a clear differentiation.
That's what I meant by that. Exactly what I meant by that. Yes, that's a more physics way of explaining it. Yeah. And I tend to not have the total understanding of the physics side, but I'm trying to learn.
Yeah. I tell you what, I just need to use the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute.
Good.
But
heart rises above mind. Yes, that's, you unify. The two become one, just like the two eyes become singular, just like the heart and the mind become singular. The bride and the groom. And obviously creation, all creation are the bride in the spiritual sense. We are inseminated with the truth or the good of God, and then our light shines, and that little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Right? Square peg won't fit in a round hole, but no, squaring the circle means it's the formula for ascension. Mathematicians for eternity have tackled that squaring the circle problem from a mathematician point of view, and it's impossible. Yet squaring the circle is the biggest formula I've come across, as far as because you could consider us the square, which is 360 degrees in angles, and the circle is 360 degrees in a circle, a radius, a never ending. And so the finite is the square, because we travel in angles, we have angles, we're linear, we're finite, we're transient, and spirit is infinite, forever, non-ending, no beginning, no end, or the beginning and the end, whatever. So yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. My marker 113 says modern physics ignores counter space or ether, which he uses as an interchangeable term, and says which is most of this realm. Yes. Well, they ignore the word aether, but they call it dark matter, I think is what, or dark energy. I think that's, for some reason that's what it's called now, or that's what I'm guessing. Because obviously in physics, they understand that, counter space or not, I think counter space is dark matter or dark energy. So yeah, I would agree. Everything above is illusion. Yeah, circle is square. Right. And then that's the math is only one half, the feminine half. Yeah, the pragmatic side, you mean? The logical side? Or, because even in the story of Atlantis, there was the city of Shen, or I can't remember, in Undal, and it was walled off. Well, that's the two hemispheres of the brain, right? Because one word means philosophy and the other word means what? Science. So yeah, I think that's with every dual opposite comes creation, and I think that's why this world seems to be dualistic and is dualistic as far as the physics part of it. Like there's always an interchange or a friction. Without friction, nothing would grow. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, we were discussing this actually. That was your dog, wasn't it? Not mine.
That was my dog.
Yeah.
She's a
Phil
little.
said for someone to gain something, someone has to lose something. You can't have gain without loss.
Yeah. Without the ups, the downs, or the downs, the ups. Yeah.
Yeah, reality is like a perfect accounting system. See, this is what, I was asking him about this, and I was like, look, it seems like there's a war on Dharma at the moment, but I'm not worried about it really because of this perfect accounting system of the cosmos. I mean, it will do damage to people. Unfortunately, some people will be victims of it, like genuine victims of it. That was actually weird. I had to go to the hospital on Friday. I had to go to the emergency room just like because I had an accident at work and hurt my back, and I just wanted to get X-rayed just in case. And when I was like checking in, she said to me like, "Have you had all your COVID vaccines?" And I was like, "No, I'm not sure why you have to ask me that." Then it dawned on me they're probably getting a lot of people coming in who had the third one. But anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that. But yeah, for something to be, there can't be gain without loss and sacrifice in some kind of way. So,
Right.
no gain, no gain, no pain, no gain, man.
Well, it's. I was just talking about this with a friend of mine at bowling, Carol Berg, which she's a sweetheart and I love her. And she's a little older, just lost her husband a couple years back, and so we're always talking about deep stuff and spiritual matters and what God is and what we think God is and whatnot. But we got to talking, and she was. I was telling her, with God, the evil is there to form the good. God created evil to form the good. And I learned that lesson from Yvonne, and it made me think. And it's like, if we didn't have the ability to discern or choose between bad and good, there would be no good. And that's the whole Kabbalah thing, where desire turns to will, to the will of good. Goodwill or love. That's why every spiritual person, even Phil will tell you that's love. I mean, Phil's name is love. I mean, his name is love, dude. That's what Phil means, or Philo or whatever, right? It's love, right? Love of.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing if Phil said that, that was another thing I asked Phil about. I was like, why does no one look up name meanings? Like in exegesis, like you seem the only guy that bothers to do it. And he just kind of laughed, and, you know. But yeah, it was really cool, man. Must have said it about 10 times, but still kind of sinking in, actually.
Free Press 666 chimes in and says, any God that needs worship is no God.
Yeah, I don't know where it actually says, like, you must worship God.
No, but
Like,
you must understand
say,
what God is before you worship anything.
Yeah, it depends what you mean by worship. Is it
Well,
like,
if you're worshiping God, in my mind, you're worshiping yourself and the good in you and the good in everybody. You realize that everybody is of one thing. We are across the board of one consciousness. We just discern that consciousness differently through different perspectives, different lenses. That's how I see it. And
well, there's the
if we
whole gamut
understand
of,
all that and you know that, then you're gonna love your neighbor. You're gonna love your enemy. You know,
yeah,
even Jesus Christ on the cross is said to say, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
yeah, there is the whole gamut of human experiences, you know.
Were you saying something?
No, no, no. I was just done with what I was saying.
Shannon LeGros says, it seems we are the ones who need worship. It's an ideology and word. Yes, yes, the word worship, yes, it's, but I mean, in the end, if you're worshiping God or you're living a pious life or you're living in piety, then you're doing what's good for everybody. You're smiling, you're trying to be happy, you're not holding grudges against people. You're not honking your horn in a traffic jam, knowing damn well it's not the person's fault in front of you. You're not even getting angry about it. You know, it's little shit like that that leads you to the truth of what we truly are. And I've experienced it firsthand, and I can tell you stories that they only have the levity for me to convey, like Phil told Jack that analogy about, it's like talking with friends and everybody's seen the movie, but the guy that's on the outside that's never seen the movie just has no idea what they're talking about. Even me, it's like I don't know everything, but I do know that God is not something that's outside of us, something that's up in the sky passing judgment on me. It's reality itself. It's everything. And it speaks to you. God speaks to you in ways that you'll never even know he's speaking to you until later. It's like the Nostradamus quatrains, you ask for help and all of a sudden some help comes your way in a form that is just totally out of left field, but you see signs of that before you see it and you put them together. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, what you ask God for help for is taken care of because that has happened to you. And you come to that realization that your reality interacted with you. God interacted with you when you asked for help, but you didn't know he was helping you, or I was helping myself, or, I don't want to put a word or he or she to what God is, because God is everything. It's beyond everything. And it is everything all at once. But I mean, you get what I'm saying? And I hope I could convey that message without getting into the nitty gritty details, because it's not really, but that's the eye of the needle, you see your reality just feeding back to you in synchronicities, everything, numbers that pop up, signs, like Carol today would told me about, I went up to this, I never give homeless people on the corners money, but this guy, he wouldn't look at me and I felt so bad for him. So I reached out, gave him $5, and she said, I'm not telling you that because I'm bragging about it. I'm telling you that because she said, I don't normally do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. And because he wasn't holding a sign. She said, you're not holding a sign. And he said, I am the sign. And she said, I got goosebumps from head to toe, and that was something she needed in her reality at the time. And because I've told her everything about my past and, my, interactions with God in the whatever reality we're in, and how it feeds back to you and you create it. And she went, you know what, that is the same as what you told stories, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's like you cannot explain it in the context that anybody else is going to see it as, because each one of our journeys is individual, yet it's the same result. and you come to realize that all is one in the end. Even Russians, even Democrats, when you're a Republican, even a black person to the biggest bigot white guy, we're all the same. And in the end, if you really think logically, we all want the same thing anyway, to survive and to be loved, unless you're a psychopath, you know. And even that has a place to fit in, right? What are you guys talking about? There are many gods in the sky, but there are smaller gods inside you, and just like you are inside a god. Yeah. People believe that they worship all sorts of gods as all. We are I am that I am. Yes, none of us really need definition or explanation. We are. Would be nice to know ourselves and all our potential. This is correct. Yvonne Gordon, what's up, sweetheart? Look at started this live stream and your book arrived. It was quite fitting. It was like that whole reality thing I was just talking about. You still with me, Jack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought you were froze up and dropped out.
No. I'm zoning out a bit. I was kind of like dipping in and out of the chat while you were going on there. But yeah, there's a good comment here from Gary Baxter. He said, "In the end, it doesn't really matter." And I was saying to this about Phil. Like,
we said that at the end of our talk too when you called me that day.
Yeah, in the end, really, it's best to focus on things that like really truly matter. And when you do experience, well, I don't want to speak for other people, but when you lose people you love, suddenly a lot of the bickering of everyday life seems really annoying. Because
Yes.
it doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's far more important, lofty things that we can focus on as human beings, so. But yeah,
Antichrist, I think, is the dark within yourself. Overcome the dark. Yes. Very good. That's exactly how I see it too. Piccolo son said something that you eat the animals, you steal their consciousness because they are collecting it just like you. And that reminds me of what I think I heard this from Steve Treu. I think I'm saying his name right, but he's from Quantum Counseling or Quantum Revolution Counseling channel. I think I've shared a couple of his videos. He's a pretty smart guy. But anyway, he said, I think it was on his channel. I'm not sure. But he said that it might have been Nassim Harriman. I don't know. But life is the means, or life is the universe creating memory. And that makes
Walter Russell said something very similar to that. It's like the physical universe is like the memory of
like the Akashic. Spirit. Yes.
Well, no, it wasn't.
It's like how we would see a past life if we held on to it, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. No, he was. This is in the Universal One, I think, in Walter Russell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He talks about how the physical cosmos is like the memory of spirit. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know if I'm explaining.
It's a means to define forever, or eternal life, or God, or what is. So God is experiencing itself through us. So yeah. So in our memories, even though they're from a different perspective, are still all adding to the Akashic. And I'm sure there's ways to hold on to your personal memories and stuff from life to life. And I think you do if you're in a spiritual mindset to begin with. And I think that's why some people are disposed to seeing signs or numbers or repeating patterns, and and taking them more than at face value or coincidental, and seeing them as synchronicities and whatnot.
No, I mean, they I think in psychiatry they talk about, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a mental health pathology where one is looking for patterns that aren't really there. But that aside, I mean, this is something I was discussing a lot with Phil about seeing like more like archetypal patterns relating to like astrological correspondences and like hermetic laws. And yeah, this was the other thing Phil was telling me. He said that the Kabbalah is like totally robust. It can't be broken. You can't circumvent it. You can try and you might get away with it briefly. I think it's called it's called like a Metatronic ascension, when you have to like really like quickly like break the law in order to like get out of trouble. So like say you were like accelerating up to a red light, you're accelerating up to a green light and it changes, and it's going to be more dangerous to like brake to try and stop the car. Like you just have to go through it quickly, like something like that. Like that's the Metatronic ascension, where you very quickly break universal law in order to like get out of trouble. But it's just like for a split second. It's not like a war on Dharma that you need $1 billion propaganda machine for, and et cetera, and it still doesn't even fucking work in the end anyway. So whatever.
That whole analogy you just gave me about the braking at a yellow light, it just brought me memories of that Taxi episode where I think what's his name is asking Laka, what does a yellow light mean? And he slows down and he says slow down, and then he says, what does a yellow light mean? And he says slow down, and he says, what I don't know why, but maybe that's a slanted part of my handle on YouTube, slightly. The more you ascend as a life form, the more you will be able to measure more of God. Yeah, like the pyramid is in itself, it's geometry. And what is geometry? Earth measures. So, and it's also in the center of the Earth landmass. What's in the center of that? The King's Chamber. So that's the eye in the triangle, right? So I mean, that's the simplistic, the symbolism part of what you're saying there, I think. And everything is a way to measure God. I mean, everything, the good and the bad. That's why God and creator are two different things, right? Should we get into that discussion? Like God is the ultimate creator, but God has nothing to do with its creation unless you have the will to go towards God, right?
Well, I mean,
the demiurge, the Lucifer aspect of the light, as versus the redeeming aspect or the godly part, which it's all godly though. But I mean, that's why Kabbalah is Kabbalah, right? It's the spirit, it's the physical, and it's Allah, God. Did you understand what I just said?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean by that. Yeah. Although, yeah, you like to get into kind of Islamic or Quran exegesis, I'd rather just stay away from that. Like, not relating to what you said.
Right.
Just, I don't know. It's like,
no, I take bits and pieces from everything and just realize that it's all one thing. Every religion, every one of them across the board, it's the same thing, from the Titans to the 12 apostles to
through a cultural lens and
yes,
like the zeitgeist
exactly.
of the time. Yeah.
Renaming gods and God in aspects of the Hermetic, because gods, in my opinion, are archetypes or the 7 Hermetic principles, right? I mean, what do they call it? What was it? The Ennead? The Egyptians called it the Ennead?
Yeah, the Ennead. That was 9 deities, I think, the Ennead, if I'm correct. The number, the number, there's 9 deities in the Ennead. Maybe that's why the Windows 9 failed.
Right. Or what about the number 13? You know how they skipped 13, and it's always been billed as a bad number, and it's always things happen.
What is that all about? Like,
well, because 13 is the indifferent, the redeeming. When you get because to me, it's it's, the indifference of life. 13 is the mystical number, the ultimate, because when you create the 13, Jesus in the middle of the 12 apostles, and that's, in my mind, it's, from the way I understand it, it's when you recreate the light within you, by marrying your heart and your mind, or, doing good, agape, all that, bestowal, whatever, and this is I pull all of this shit just from all the stuff. I don't read anything through. I always stop halfway through books. The Bible I'm trying to read, and it's just like, wow. So I turn everything on audiobook. So I take in the information, but I can't really put it into compartments yet.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean by that. I know exactly.
So don't you think all religions are the same in the end? I mean,
oh yeah, of course they are. Of
Yeah.
course they are. But this, the trouble is that sometimes it's like you need someone who knows what the hell they're going on about
yes,
in order to
Yeah.
fully grasp
yes,
what you can from, without the experience, without the reception of the Kabbalah, oneself.
yes.
And if you don't have someone who knows what they're talking about,
Yep.
and you think then that's what leads to all sorts of problems that
Yes.
we see. And I don't understand. I don't know. It is what it is, but
Yeah, that's why I'm so thankful to come across everybody that I've come across on YouTube, and that's why this experience for me has been just the best I've ever. And it started out as a selfish program for me, right? I was trying to find out. At first, it started out, I was trying to find out if there's something in the sky, oddly enough, and it's turned into the ultimate journey, and really coming to the realization of what religion means and what it all means. I'm not by no means to the end of truth, because I'm still discovering it yet. I think I got to thank everybody, each and every one of you, Yvonne, Phil, Piccolo's son, Jeffrey Ball, everybody that I've come across and had the luck, or the just, I don't know, the synchronicity to come across, because without having every different perspective from everybody, it's like Thoth Anon, when he's on here going on about his as way he sees life, and and I know he's good at heart, and he's coming from a good place, and you realize that all people are the same, and we just need to be good by each other, do good by each other, and in a perfect world, that'd be easy, right? But why isn't the world perfect? Because we wouldn't have nothing to strive for. Yeah, I'm asking you. Why isn't the world perfect?
Why isn't the world perfect? Well, I guess that depends on your perspective. I mean, this is the thing. Humans, most humans have to toil all day just to get by and stuff. And it's, the human race isn't doing so badly. It's just, if you listen to the shit stirrers in the media babbling in the abyss too much, they'll give you the idea that things are really bad and terrible in this world. I mean, look, they aren't perfect, that's for sure. But I mean, it's like Matey said earlier, in the end, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's all about, for me anyway, it's all about really just trying to learn and trying to grow and trying to, I don't know, not be an asshole.
Nothing is perfecto. My journey started the same, Steve, as you know, like how many years ago now? About 6 or 7, yes. That's what Aaron's energy said. Hi, Aaron. You changed your name on me, didn't you? And Yvonne Gordon chimes in and says, you find God by being still mentally. Be still, my soul, for I am God. Yeah, that's the day of rest, the Sabbath, the Sunday, the mentalism aspect of, the 7 Hermetic principles. It's like the the graphic I have on the thumbnail of this video. You know, the monad is the correspondence, and you know, the mentalism is the moment of creation, light. It's also creation, the indifference of creation, and it's the redeeming aspect of creation, the beginning and the end, the culmination of a seed.
But you still have to like you still got to put in your own work, though, haven't you? You got to do your own.
Yeah, nobody can tell you. That's the beautiful part of it. Yes.
Yeah, you don't get something for nothing, I'm afraid. No. Well, you might do, but yeah.
Expecting one idea or one process to simply fit everyone, not helpful. This is true. This is true. And then, and I struggled with that with the ego, right? I think every one of us has, where like, I'm right, you're wrong. It's only this and it's never that, you know? And if you're not adhering to what I think is truth, then you're, you know. But I think if we're all on that same path, we're going to do what's right. And I think it's happening more and more nowadays, and it's quite it. You know, I don't know about you, but I look at commercials now and I start crying over. You know, like if you watch the ASPCA commercials with the dogs, you know, and they're struggling and stuff. Oh man,
it's just no, not those.
It just makes your heart bleed.
Well, yeah, they're designed to do that.
Yes,
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, brother. You probably want to go, so I'll let you go if you want.
Are you gonna keep streaming?
I'd probably for about 5 more minutes. Just say goodbye to everybody. And
yeah, no, I'm just really tired. So I'm gonna have an early night. I've got to go to work tomorrow. As much as I don't want to, I'm still gonna go though. So yeah, but no, thanks. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thanks for talking, man.
Yeah,
kind of cool that you got to meet Phil. I'm kind of jelly actually, but
are you jelly over there? Hey?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you called me and I got to meet him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. I'm really glad. I really hope we do it again sometime. But I should have like bought a notepad with me or something, or a little dictaphone and recorded it. But yeah, no, we had good fun. All right, man. Cool. Well, I'm going to get going. Thanks, everyone in chat. And yeah, I'm going to hit the hay, man.
All right, brother. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Take it easy, man.
Bye, everyone.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah, everybody. You know, the world would change instantly if everyone took off their shoes and ran. Piccolo is so down to earth. Boom, boom. Shannon LeGros says, but it's happened many times. It seems cyclical. A cyclical process we find ourselves in. Come out of chaos and dive back in it over and over again, right? It's I agree with that. Like, you know, COVID's over, so we got to have something else to occupy ourselves with or be scared of. So fear not, my friends. Fear not. Just have faith that all is going to be well, because it will be. You know, and the biggest message I've gotten over the last couple of weeks is screw yesterday, or fuck yesterday because it's gone, excuse my language, and screw tomorrow because it ain't here yet. Now is all we have, and now is eternal. And living in the eternal now is what it's all about. And, you know, it's hard to say that, hard to do that in our fearful state. And you could see the collective ego manifesting itself in a way that is right there in our face if you look hard enough, and if you strive for what is good and do what is good by people, situations, even when you're by yourself in your car, because you can't be fake towards even spiritual growth or even to self-growth, because then you're shorting yourself and shortchanging yourself. So in a nutshell, I'm trying to say, you know, we can each change the world one step, 1 foot, one set of eyes at a time, and it will gain traction. It will, and we have a shot at doing it. And I think this whole, like Shannon was saying about the cyclical part, the yugas are the macrocosmic representation of that, you know, Kali Yuga and whatnot. And I think everything has an ebb and a flow. a rhythm to it, and that's part of the seven hermetic principles as well, archetypes, right? Silence is golden, came in 830 says. Yes, it is. And the reason why I do live streams and get everybody together is just to gauge and to see you know how things are with everybody. And yeah, I don't know everything, but I do know what love is, Jenny. Right? So I think if we do that for everybody in our lives, not a fake love, but just love your neighbor as you'd love yourself, love your enemy as you'd love yourself, and nothing can phase you. From a personal aspect, recently I've gone through something like that. I had a friend or a guy that I bowl with, and it's, me and him have always kind of butt heads. And I learned this because he came at me like disrespectful, and I took offense to it. And so I came back at him disrespectful. And I realized that I can't control anybody else's behavior but my own. And in a big form of that, that's the reason why, we need to realize that just doing good by everybody, even the people that piss you off, and if you want to get maniacal about it, being nice to somebody that expects you to be pissed off at them, they instantly turn, you know, they come back around and they go, wow, how can you do that? Even if you force yourself to do it at first, it comes and it grows on you. So that's my personal story of as of late. That's what happened. And we can change the world through each individual eyes, and we can all come together in consciousness, because that's what it is. So we can change the world, guys. Fear not. Fear not the zeitgeist. Fear not the shit that's going on, right? A treasure in this world is a kind person. I agree with that. Compassionate, caring, that's all simple. Yes, very simple. Good night, guys. Good day. Good morning. It's gained so much tradition. Shit is accelerated, not downside of recent. I actually tried tricking myself subconsciously a few years back. Had a bit more work to do, right? Fear, be who you are. Yeah. But guys, I do care and I do love you. And, for if I didn't, I would hate on myself. And, hating on myself is just slippery slope we don't want to go down. So, love people like you want to love yourself, because we all want to survive and be loved. Regardless of what's going on in this world, we can all change it right here, and then right here. Or if you can do it both at the same time, more power to you. Much love, peace, chicken grease, y'all. Thank you.